My name is Kelly Todd. My husband is Chris Todd. Chris and I met online. Didn't think our relationship would go anywhere meeting someone online, but turned out to be the best gift ever. We've been married for 3 years, going on 4. We've been together for 5 years. We have 5 children together. We are a blended family. We have Aubrey, who just graduated from UT Austin. We have Bailey, who is a junior in high school. We have 2 8th graders, Madison and Dylan, who will be headed to high school next year, and our baby, Carly, who will be in 5th grade next year. I was raised at Northgate Baptist Church, and then I started going to First Baptist Church when I was around the age of 15. I have known Johnny and his family for many, many years. I knew that he was the pastor here at Hope City, and we were looking for a place to spend Christmas Eve with our family. Everybody was so friendly and kind and welcoming, and we started coming regularly right after that. I am a teacher with EPISD. Chris works for the government for a company called CCOM. I don't actually know everything that he does because it's a little complicated. I know he repairs equipment, he works with soldiers, and his job requires him to travel a lot. Chris has been in Germany for the last 6 months for work. He arrived home on February the 4th. We were super ecstatic to have him home. He was given a task to drive a general around Fort Bliss, which is a big deal. Shortly after that, he was informed he'd have to drive to Fort Sill, Oklahoma for a 2-week training. I was initially frustrated and annoyed with his company that they were asking him to travel so soon. I didn't have a good feeling about it, but Chris is a really hard worker. He's very dedicated, and he said, "It's my job, I have to go." So he packed his bags. I love taking pictures and videos, so I took a picture of us as he was headed to the truck. I took a video of him driving out of the driveway. We waved goodbye, and I thought I would see him in 2 weeks and everything would be great. On February the 28th, we had been calling and texting like normal. He sounded fine. He was acting fine. And then he just stopped responding to my text messages, which is extremely unusual. I checked his location using the iPhone, and his truck was in a field. And I thought that was odd, but you're not sure with exactly how close the iPhone tracks someone, and maybe we had a spotty connection, and so I didn't worry too much about it. About an hour later, my phone rang from an unknown number, and it was a state trooper to inform me that my husband had had a medical emergency while driving, was involved in a serious car accident, and was being transported by ambulance to a hospital in Wichita Falls, Texas, and I should begin making my way there. Chris was driving highway speed on cruise control when he went into sudden cardiac arrest and lost consciousness. He was in the middle of nowhere, and by chance, a gentleman and his girlfriend just happened to pull out of their driveway and stopped at the stop sign and saw Chris coming. The gentleman thought Chris was going to hit his truck and pulled off to the side and witnessed Chris cross oncoming traffic, hit a fence, go through a ditch, watch the airbags deploy. When he got to the truck, he said that Chris was gasping for air and that his eyes were open and he was saying, "Help." And all of a sudden, there was another passerby that pulled over. These 2 gentlemen took turns doing chest compressions on Chris. Chris had no pulse, and they really thought he was gone. A trooper arrived who had oxygen with him, was able to give Chris oxygen, straddled Chris on the stretcher, and these volunteer firefighters, these two passersby, and the girlfriend carried this stretcher about a football field back to the road where the ambulance was waiting. When he got to the emergency room, we had a phenomenal electrophysiologist named Dr. Kumar, who said that Chris's heart stopped a total of 12 times. He had to be shocked 12 times, and that something was definitely trying to take him out of this world. When I got to the hospital, Chris was in critical condition, on life support, and given a 5% chance to wake up. They didn't know how long he'd been without oxygen. They had tried to do a couple tests, and the tests went very poorly because they couldn't move him. And on the 4th or 5th day, the test was successful. And I was starting to feel okay. My sister said, let's go get you something to eat. And I really didn't want to leave. And she would gently escort me out of the room, and I would tell Chris, okay, I'll be right back, and I'm going to go get something to eat. And he was completely unconscious. He did not respond to anything. He didn't move. The machines were breathing for him. And we went to lunch. When I came back, I was asking the nurse, how was things while I was gone? And she said, well, his blood pressure went up a little bit, but I gave him some medicine. And I turned to look at the medicine, and I said, oh, his blood pressure, and his eyes popped open. And I said, oh my gosh, his eyes opened. And she said, well, look at that. He must hear your voice. I raced over to him. I started talking to him. He would blink. He would try to respond, but of course he was intubated, so he couldn't. It was just amazing, and he would follow commands. I could tell that he was straining, and so I would say, it's okay, you can relax, close your eyes, and he would close his eyes. And I would say, can you feel my hand? And he would squeeze my hand. Later, when he was stable, the doctor said, he's never seen anything like this. He'll never forget Chris. He'll never forget his name. He was so excited when he would come into the ICU and see that Chris had made progress. He said that Chris should have died, that there's no explanation except for a miracle that Chris is alive and on this earth today. I've been a believer my whole life, and I know what a wonderful God I serve. And I know that He can perform miracles. I know that God has a plan, and I know that He already knows what's going to happen. My faith in His miracles, actually witnessing one for myself with my own eyes, knowing how close we came to losing Chris, and to see him work and to save Chris from this is overwhelming. I'm so incredibly thankful that I don't have to live my life without him, that my children still have their father. He's my very best friend. He's my everything. I just kept saying, Chris is everything to me. God, how could you take him from me? Please don't take him from me. And my prayers have changed. My worship has changed. My thankfulness has changed because God does perform miracles. Today, yesterday, tomorrow, He He hears prayer, He answers prayer. And I'm so thankful that He was gracious and showed mercy and kindness upon our lives and with my husband.